You are now listening to Tuff Tiger Talk. Flash Report.
What's going on, fam? Welcome to another installment of Tuff Tiger Talk. Coming at you, man. It's going to be a quick one, man. Tuff Tiger Talk, we're in the building. I'm Big Q chiming in on this one. Another hideous loss, man. Number one ranked Alabama Crimson Tide roll in and roll the hell over LSU in this one. 55-17. And listen, man, this is an absolute joke. This is a freaking flipping joke of epic proportions, no doubt about it. A disastrous, hideous, garbage time loss to the Crimson Tide. Of course, I didn't expect LSU. I knew it would have been a tough game. But to lose in these manners, to lose to Auburn like they do and then lose to Alabama like they did, and it's just the effort. It's the effort stuff. I'm totally not satisfied with the defense. This is an absolute joke. And, of course, people could say, well, Q, we didn't expect LSU to be a champion this year. Of course, LSU had its problems with the C-19, but every goddamn team in college had their problem with C-19. Come on. Did C-19 stop Alabama from rolling over the majority of their opponents? They're freaking 9-0 right now. I don't want to hear about the C-19 nonsense. This is an absolute freaking joke, man. This is a joke. 55-17 in your home building is ridiculous, man. Where's your freaking pride, man? Where's the pride? The first several drives ending in touchdowns, deep ball thrown. Where the hell is the coach? A defensive coordinator. What's Bo Pelini? He needs to be fired, man. This is ridiculous, man, to have a loss this ridiculous this late in the season. Defense giving up touchdowns all over the place. The offense did what it could do with freshmen, but the defense needed to hold. And to give up deep striking, deep ball touchdowns like they did to blow the game open early was utterly reprehensible. Pelini should have been fired on the spot after this game. He should have been relieved of his defensive coordinator duties. He's been an absolute freaking joke this entire year. You can't tell me what all the 4 and 5 and 3-star recruits that LSU has on his defense that this is the best that we can do. And I'm not just talking about Alabama. I'm talking about other teams throughout the season. There is no excuses for this. 55-17, stinking, rotten-ass loss to a hated Alabama team. Roll into Death Valley and roll over your ass, and the only person that leave Death Valley is Alabama smiling. They killed the Tigers in there badly. Absolutely, Nick Saban got the much-needed revenge that he wanted since last year, and LSU is absolutely squashed flat in this matchup. You know, we didn't have a chance. Couldn't run the ball. A defense was an absolute flipping joke once again, allowing nothing but deep ball after deep ball to blow up in the game. The offense could not be competitive in this type of matchup. If the first 5 drives of the game are touchdown passes or drives in and in touchdowns, it's utterly ridiculous. It really is. This is stupid, this is terrible, and this is absolutely disgusting. This is a championship team from a year ago, and even though they aren't championship quality like they were last year, they still should have finished above 500. This is absolutely terrible. This is a joke. And I don't know what kind of dynasty we building here. Is it the dynasty, and I've mentioned this before, is this the type of dynasty we building where we'll be like an Auburn team that disappears for 3 or 4 years and then pops back up on the scene and wins a championship? I was thinking more like an Alabama or a Clemson type dynasty where we are always circulating in the top 3 or 4. LSU will never, they once they fell out the rankings, it was over with. We got the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and big ups to Louisiana as they're doing big things. They are nationally ranked. And if you put them head to head with LSU, they would beat LSU as well. This is a joke, man. I mean, this is an absolute joke. They're going to talk about the players, but this is a failure in coaching, man. This is a failure in coaching big time. But anyway, let me get into some of the statistics. 55-17, 9-0. The Tigers are 3-5, losers of 2. It's just pathetic, man. Absolute freaking pathetic. 32 first downs versus 21. They were 4 of 19, Alabama. 4 of 19 in third downs. 5 of 15 was LSU. 650 yards of total offense for the Crimson Tide versus the Tigers, 352. Passing yards, 385 to 254. They averaged 13.3 yards per throw. That's absolutely ridiculous, and somebody need their ass fired. Bo Pelini should be fired. He needs to be fired. He's a freaking joke as a defensive coordinator. And it's not just because of the Alabama matchup. It's because of several other matchups when the defense looked like it didn't know what the hell it was going on. You can't tell me with all the talent we have, this is the best we can turn out. Rushing attack, 265 yards was put up on this team today. They had 43 rushing attempts. They averaged 6.2 yards. This defense was a freaking sieve today. They allowed 385 yards through the air and 265 yards total. They allowed 650 freaking yards of total offense. This defense couldn't stop nothing. Nothing running, nothing passing. They were pathetic, just like their shitty defensive coordinator. Anyway, let's keep it going. This is ridiculous. 6.2 yards per rush penalties. LSU, really nothing. 4 for 30, 4 for 43 for Crimson Tide, and, of course, the turnovers. And then, of course, possession, 33-17 versus 26-43. I mean, what can I tell you about this, man? I can't really say too much about this. This is just ridiculous. But let's hear what Coach O has to say, and this loser talk, man. Let's listen to what the hell he has to say about this, because I'm at a loss for words on this one.
I just told the team I thought they fought very hard. Practiced well, a lot of 1-2. They fought to the very end. Obviously, we made some mistakes. Coached better scheme, better execution. Got to give them credit. They're a good football team. And that number 6 is one of the best players I've seen. And he had a tremendous game against us. Our guys are going to stick together. We'll get ready for Florida. Any questions?
Ed, what can you learn from a game like this? And second question is just, does this help or hurt recruiting? Obviously, guys see that there's need and maybe they can come help right away.
Yeah, I think it helps recruiting. I mean, the recruiting has been fine. Our guys stuck with us. The commitments have stuck with us. I think we're in good shape. I mean, I'm not going to say it helps recruiting. You don't ever want to lose like that. But, when guys see that, hey, I can come in and play, there's some opportunities for me. There's a lot of young guys. A lot of freshmen are playing right now. Yeah, I think that's the way to take it.
Ed, in the first half, you seemed clearly frustrated after the second touchdown, but it was number 6.
Yeah.
What was going on at that time? What did you see in the defense?
Yeah. Well, our plan was for most of the game to double team him. And that was one of the times that we wasn't. So, we just got beat one-on-one. It's nobody's fault. And we went into the game to stop number 6, and you got to give them credit. Now, sometimes we had him doubled, and he made some big plays. So it was just kind of frustrating to see one player have almost 300 yards in the first half.
Hey, Coach, Ron Reeds, LSU Sports. All season long, this defense has struggled, but would you say this is the worst performance for the team?
Well, we had some pretty good performances against Texas A&M and pretty good performance against Arkansas. I think the first half was not a very good half with the explosive plays, which we wanted to eliminate. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, let's stop it right there. And that's Coach Orgeron. This is pathetic, man. This loser talk, man. This is absolute loser talk, man. This is pathetic. What the hell is Coach Orgeron talking about? They fought. How the hell they fought to 17 points and you were literally destroyed you destroyed 55-17. What the hell you mean you fought? You didn't fight anything. This team was rolled over. The defense was bowled over. The defense was disgusting. It was awful. The statistics clearly states that. And of course, for the report asked a really good question about, does it hurt recruiting? Hell yeah, it hurts recruiting. There's several stories that I've reported on various shows that's showing that they have recruits that are decommitting because they don't believe LSU's a powerhouse. Well, that's on them. We'll continue to recruit because old Coach O does do a good job of that. But this is pathetic. This is not LSU's brand of gold standard football. This is pathetic, man. This is pathetic. Need I mind you that the Tulane Green Wave finished the season with a 500 record? You mean to tell me the Tulane Green Wave is going to finish the year with a better record than the LSU Tigers? I mean, that's absolutely amazing to me. With all the talent that's still there, despite the talent that opted out, we still have a lot of really good players there. It's up to the coaching staff to make the best of these players. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is pathetic. You know? No, they didn't fight. I don't agree with you, Coach O. That's bullshit. These people, your defense laid down. Bo Pelini has been a literal freaking joke all year. They didn't make enough stands. They didn't do enough of anything to help out anywhere. It was a joke. It was a joke and hard to watch. Hard to watch, very hard to watch. Let's look over the individual statistics for this one. TJ Finley, 14 of 28, 144 yards, 1 touchdown, 72.4 QB rating. He mixed Max Johnson in there, 11 of 17 for 110. Finished with a 71 QBR. The rushing game couldn't get going. Even though Emory started, he had a few really good rushes, 7 rushes for 79 yards. But after the defense allowed so much offense from Alabama, I mean, once that occurred, they had to abandon the rushing attack to a degree to try to catch up. It was over at halftime. They just could. The defense was getting blown out of the freaking place. I mean, just plays over the top. We consistently seeing the same trend for this entire season. The defense suspect giving up plays over the top. Keyshawn Boot, 8 catches, 111 yards. Troy Carter did 3 catches for 33 yards. John Trey Kirkland, 2 for 30. And the score, Eric Gilbert, 5 catches for 29 yards as well. But Booty was a complete ass in this one. He ran to the end zone and dropped the ball before getting there. This is just more the same of the standard brand. And of course, LSU defense, I don't even much want to give them any shine because they were so pathetic in this one. They allowed the quarterback for Alabama, Mac Jones, to go 20 of 28 for 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. The man averaged 14 yards every time he threw the ball. Their rushing attack, led by Najee Harris, had 21 carries for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. So as a collective, and they got Brian Robinson Jr. in there, as a collective, the Alabama rushing attack had 43 rushes for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. They averaged 6.2 yards per rush. 6.2. So you mean to tell me that the Alabama Crimson Tide passing attack averaged 13.3 yards per throw and averaged 6.2 yards per rush? What the hell did the LSU defense do out there? They might as well have been called the Alabama defense because they were definitely double agents, so to speak. They damn sure didn't help the cause for the Tigers any by being a freaking sieve. 385 yards through the secondary, and then you still gave up 265. That means you didn't stop nothing. You didn't do anything. Why even show up? 55-17 in the matchup. Devontae Smith tore him up, 8 catches, 231. The man had 3 touchdowns. He averaged almost 29 yards per catch. He told them a new one. Jaleel Billingsley had 4 catches for 68 and a score as well. 4 catches for John Mechie, the third, for 58 yards. And each one of their wide receivers had averaged over 15 yards per catch in the matchup. It was absolutely a joke of a performance by the LSU Tigers, the non-fighting Tigers. There's no fight in these Tigers. 3-5, they fall in the SEC, and it don't get any easier. Of course, we're looking at Florida and Ole Miss to close out, and it's just distasteful, man. You know, it's very distasteful. You know, I watched the game and I was very upset. I'm coming at you guys a little late with this one because of the fact that, you know, we had other news events to cover. But once again, Alabama, man, they take LSU down in this one. 55-17, really horrible game for the LSU Tigers. I don't know what to say about this one. This was really a tough one to swallow. It was over by halftime, and we'll find out what goes on. But man, oh man, there's a lot to be done with this team, man. I mean, seriously. And the talent is there. You know, I know the roster, the talent is there. It's whether or not we got the proper coaches to bring this stuff out. And the coaches are not doing the due to bring it out, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We weren't supposed to give up over, 600 yards of total offense today? Over 600 yards of offense the defense gave up today. This is absolutely repugnant. So, spanning ahead, LSU's 3-5, man. I just, it's a tough season, man. It really is. And, of course, like I said earlier, people are going to sit up here and they're going to say, well, Q, it's the C-19, all this nonsense about the C-19. But the C-19 is not stopping Alabama. It's not stopping Clemson. It's not stopping teams that are actually good and coaches that are actually coaching, that are utilizing and getting the most out of their talent. It's not. So I don't want to hear that excuse. Moving ahead now, Florida's next on the docket for LSU. The number 6 ranked Florida Gators, they have to go down to the Swamp and take on the number 6 the Florida Gators. And right now it's a battle, but it's going to be the Eastern Conference, SEC Conference, the East Florida leader, who are 8-1, number 6 in the nation against Alabama, who's number 1 in the nation. They're 9-0. That'll be the SEC championship coming up soon. And am I expecting LSU to go down to the Swamp and handle business against Florida? I severely don't. I don't have any confidence in the defense. I really don't. I don't have any confidence in the defensive coordinator, Bo Pelini, although I do like how the offense attempted to try to play. They tried to stay in the game. Early on, you've seen Emory get going with the running attack. You've seen TJ Finley make some passes. You've seen the young wide receiver start to move and shake a bit. But the defense would not provide any stops to keep the game level, to keep the game straight. The defense failed the team today. The defensive coordinator was a joke. And when you lose to teams like Alabama, remember, most of the boosters watch certain games, and certain games will get you ran off. Bo Pelini, losing as bad as he did against Alabama, the Auburn matchup, and several other contests through the season, trust and believe people are asking hashtag Bo gotta go, go Tigers. And that's what it is. Bo Pelini has got to go, man. No doubt about it. He has to get the hell out of here, man. This was a terrible matching, a pairing. I thought he could do a lot better than this, but he is an absolute joke with the talent that we have on the defense. You have Michael Stingley Jr. and Eli Ricks back there, and that's the best you can turn out, seriously. You have some really good players on this defense. So at the end of the day, we'll see, man. But as far as I could tell, LSU, man, another loss by our fighting Tigers. On this one, they had no fight in them, to be honest with your family. This is very pathetic. Very, very, very pathetic. Very pathetic game. LSU goes down in a humiliating fashion to the Alabama Crimson Tide, 55-17 in Death Valley. Listen, family, I'll be back later on in the week with more LSU news and notes. I'm Big Q. Thank you for listening to Tough Tiger Talk. If you're a diehard Tiger fan, man, hit the subscribe button and join the realest show talking LSU football. I'm gonna holler at you guys later. Peace.
Subscribe to the Tough Tiger Talk channel and stay up to date for all things LSU football.